In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the animated energy effects Photoshop action, which allows you to create a looping 1 second animation that is composed of multiple energy effects. All of them you can add in your scene over a static photograph, and you can work with them as you would do with an ordinary layer. As you see, this is a scene composed of a background image and multiple effects that have been added using the action. They come in different sizes, shapes, colors. Some of them are more static, some of them are flowing. And as I said, you can adjust them after you add them. So you basically can give them the shape you want precisely. This is a scene which lasts for 1 second. As you see, it is looping, and all the frames, all the elements are perfectly looping. In order to create this effect, you must of course start from a basic image, which is this image, and you will have to load the action. The action allows you to add the effects very simply. In order to load the action into Photoshop, we'll go to the Actions panel. Make sure it's opened from the window Actions. And in the Actions panel, I will click here and load actions, load the animated energy effects ES action. Okay, and now I have the action loaded. In order to use the action, you will have to open an image in Photoshop. Oops, sorry for that. This is a JPG image. It has a background layer. The image in this case is 1920 by 1326 pixels. You can have it even larger. The size of the image is relevant only for the size of the effects that you will add, because some of the effects are larger in size, the largest being full HD, so 1920 pixels in width, and some of them are actually smaller. Okay, also make sure that your image mode is set to RGB with 8 bits per channel. Okay, so as I said, we have this image with the background layer. We will have to look at the timeline in Photoshop from the window timeline. There is no timeline right now. The action will create a video timeline for us. So let's run the action. Select it and click on play. And the action is prompting us to select a file. Okay. So this is the root of the the zip file you downloaded. We'll go to the energy effects. Now we see that there are multiple folders. We will pick, let's say, small linear. These correspond to the type of the effects. So let's go to the small linear, and we have 29 folders here because there are 29 effects which correspond to the small linear type. In folder number 1 we will have some images which are JPG images. You will see they start from 100 and end in 129. Actually, the way they are named, you should look for the file with 00, because we have folder number 1, which is found in the name here. It's 100 going to 129. In folder 3 you will have 300 ending in 329. In folder 16 you will have 1600 ending in 1629. So we want to add an effect. You will have to select the first file in order. So this basically means that you will have to select the file with the lowest number, being with 00 in the end all the time. And when I select this file, because I'm using Windows, I can see a check mark here, which I cannot modify. It says image sequence. When I select this file, Photoshop will actually select all the files here and will transform them into a frame for a video. So this will be one frame, this will be another frame, and there will be 30 frames, which will mean 30 frames 1 second at 30 frames per second. So I will select the 100 in this case, being the first. I'm viewing the files are ordered by the name. So I will select the 100, click on open. Okay, and now we have a layer here with a mask. It is actually a smart layer. We have it here. We can move it somewhere we want. We can, of course, adjust it like a normal layer. I will first unbind the mask from the layer. You may use the mask to hide a part of the effect. I'll show you that a bit later. With the layer selected, let's say I want to put it on the hand, on the forearm. Let's go to edit, transform, scale. I will also rotate it to position like that, let's say. Okay, and I have the timeline here, which shows me this effect. And and I can move around the timeline and see how the animation looks. Clicking on play, we have 50% resolution that will render a bit faster, and loop playback. Clicking on play, we have this effect here. Let's say I want to position it a bit more to follow the shape of the forearm. You can transform it in every way you want because it is a smart layer. You can, for example, warp it, and you can put it in a semicircular position. Let's say something like this. Now we'll click on play. For the first time it's playing a bit slower because it is rendering images, and we have something like this. Now let's say we want to add more layers. I'm going to click on the action again. It will prompt us to load a layer again. Let's say I want to add a large non-linear. Four, 5, 6. Let's say I will add 6. It's 600. It's 00. This is the first image, the first file in the sequence of files ending in 629. So as I said, we will add the first file in this sequence of files, being the file with the lowest number in the name. So it's 600 because we are in folder number 6. Okay, and we have this effect. Wow, cool. It's a bit large. Now, where can we place it? I will unbind the mask again. Let's say we will transform, rotate it, and maybe scale it because it's too big. And maybe place it somewhere here. And clicking on play, rendering right now, and we have this effect. So the effects are now combined. We have two effects. Let's add more. Let's say 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's add 11. It's 1100. The file we will select. Okay, we have this one. You You can do something very interesting in this later versions of Photoshop. You can use the puppet warp tool. We have edit puppet warp. It allows us to add some control points. Let's say one here and one in the middle and one here to reposition hope I didn't distort it too much. The way you place the elements depends only on you, because you can use them as ordinary layers. I don't like very much the way this looks. It's a bit too rigid because I use the large element. This image is not very large. Let's say I will add this one, and I will place it over the hand. Let's see how it's moving. We have flow of energy. It is rendering the frames. And we have this effect. I will add more. Some of them may have the same color, but they will look different. This one is, I don't know the direction where it's flowing. It's more static. Let's add more. So I'm just scaling the effects. I will also add a warp to this. I will first unbind the mask and select the layer. Edit, transform, warp, and we can place it something like this. And let's add more. This could work on the hand. Now playing. It may take a bit more time to render if you added multiple elements. Because I'm doing this demonstration live to you, I don't know exactly the best places to place a specific element. I am placing them right away. You may play with them a bit more to determine the best place for your image, where they will have the most impact. Okay. I will hide this one. Add one more. Let's say a small linear. What do we have here? Let's say this one. 2900. Click on open. Okay, and we have this layer. Let's see if we can place it on the helmet somewhere here. I'm transforming the layer. Okay, I'm binding the mask. Go to edit, transform, warp. Now let's see what we can do. With a bit of work, we can position it like this. Okay, and clicking on play. It is rendering. And we have this final effect. Now, I said I will explain what to do with the mask, in case you do not know. The mask is an element in Photoshop which allows you to show or hide a certain part of the layer which is associated with. So let's say this layer, which is this one, has this white mask. White means it's showing everything. We can paint on this mask with a regular brush. So with the mask selected, we will paint with the opposite color, being black, to hide a certain part. So you can hide certain parts of the elements. Maybe you want something simple like the effect, this fiery effect, to seem to come from under the shoulder area. So with a mask we can do this, brushing. I'm hiding this part. I don't want the fiery effect to be above the shoulder, so it is only below. Could be the case for the green layer, the green effect. We can hide it here, for example, and here. With a bit of work you can make this look perfect. And clicking on play. Takes a bit more time to render all the 30 frames. Almost done. And you have these effects. Now you can save your animation in two ways. You can render it as a video from the timeline, from this button, render video, and using the settings you want, in the folder you want, with the size you want, and so on. So it will create a video, or maybe another image sequence, probably a video. Okay, and one of the other ways of saving your animation is as a animated GIF. Now, in order to save as an animated GIF, I will recommend you lower the size of the image. I will first crop it, something like this. Image crop. And image size, now 1400. Let's say 500 pixels, which is this much. Now, you can save it as an animated GIF from File, Export, Save for Web, Legacy. And you can select here a GIF. Now, it will take some more time to render the frames again. Okay, we can set the looping options to forever, clicking on play to see how it looks. And this is how our GIF would look. Okay, these are the settings. It says it has almost 1 megabyte. Okay, and then you click on save and you save your file. So this is it. One more thing I want to show you is that you can use this action also with the animated fire Photoshop action that I created. This is the animated fire in this example. There are two fire elements here. Let's click on play. It is rendering the scene again. So it is also a looping animation lasting for 1 second. You can combine the two effects. Let's say you created an effect with the animated fire. In this case, the animated fire Photoshop action, which you can purchase from Graphic River. This action was run 2 times and created these 2 folders with a fire element and also some other layers, a layer to add lighting and some controls, some adjustments for the fire element. As I said, you can use this animated energy. You can use this animated energy action also with the fire action. Let's run the animated energy effect over this image, which has results as effects from the animated fire effect. So clicking on the animated energy effects, play, it will prompt us again to select a file. Let's add something which looks a bit more different. Let's say this 2500. Okay, and we have a layer, the animated energy effect, that you can add and we can place over your image. And let's see what we have now if we click on play. Let's select the resolution to 100% in the animation. It's rendering again. And you have this effect. I don't like the way the energy effect goes here because it goes straight and not following the shape of the sword. Let's adjust this with the layer selected. I will unbind the mask, go to edit, transform, warp. Let's say we will do something like this. And let's see what we have. Okay, clicking on play. And we have this effect. So the two actions, the two effects combine perfectly, and you can create a more sophisticated effect. So basically this is it, and thank you very much for watching my tutorial.